You are now watching Dom on Your Dime, where over here we understand that time is money, so let's get into spending yours.
To be around a guy, and not just be around a guy, but to feel him, to hold him, to have him on top of me, to have me on top of him. And it's not just, and it pretty much is just sexual. It's not.
What is up, you guys? It's your girl Dominique, and you already know I'm about to drop a mother loving dime. I'm just coming through with a quick little voiceover. We're going to be talking about a little bit of a different topic today, you guys. As you heard that intro, we will be discussing straight identified man who confesses on podcast that he is not gay, but he cheats on his wife with men. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit intense because what? But like I say, take a second to like this video. Like, thank you. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so I came across this video from, it's called the podcast, The Other Side. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know what they be doing on the other side, but we're going to get into a little bit of what they got into. With that being said, I wanted to post up this picture because at the top you see it says Tony Robbins. Now, who is Tony Robbins? I have no idea, but I clicked on it. Looks like Tony Robbins is an international life and business strategist, New York Times best-selling author. Okay, we got all of that together. Still don't know who he is, but let's go on. I also discovered that Tony Robbins is also married.
Hi there, everyone. It's Sage Robbins.
And Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins, this guy right here, sounds like the guy in the video. Allegedly. But I say that, and I wanted to basically show that screenshot because either the podcasters from the other side tagged Tony Robbins, or Tony Robbins supporters, fans heard him and started tagging him in this particular video. I don't know. But like I said, it definitely sounds like the man. But my thing is, I wanted to discuss, why does this dude think he's straight? There's no way in hell you could be straight if you piping down a man. But I also wanted how he talks about the need to be around other men. I've always found it really odd that Negroes love to just sit up under other Negroes. But I'm not sure if this is a Negro or not, but I'm just saying. But anyway, let's go on. Dude, it's 2024. If you likes the men's, go ahead and likes the men's, because the lies are out of control, sir. You're gay. And at this point, it's just too much. We just can't deal with this no more. What's the point of lying? You have a whole wife out there, has the nerve to talk about he been taking tests. How many tests you gotta take? Because you don't know what the other person is doing as well, or what their other spouse is doing, because they probably think they're doing something too. I say all of that to say this. You do not need to hide who you are in 2024. If you're gay, bisexual, whatever it is you're doing, nobody really cares. People more or less care when you lie about it. And the fact that you do have a wife, kids, and whole setup, and 9 times out of 10 she's going to hear this podcast, whether it is Tony Robbins or some other guy, you have a very distinct voice. That's the problem here. So why get on here just to embarrass your wife? I want to know what you guys think down below. I definitely want to hear from my LGBTQ plus community. Oh, I got it right. Shout out to y'all. I just don't know. I'm also going to play a video from someone who I believe is in the community. I say that because he's going to be giving some very informative information to married women to check all of these dating, I guess, gay dating websites, Tinder, Grindr, I'm not sure of the other ones, but he says to check these because you'll be surprised at how many gay men, married men are on these sites. Yes, ladies. You got a lot to worry about. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to know what you guys think down below. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and watch this first video of the guy talking to the podcast. Then you're going to hear the next video of this guy basically talking about the situation and how he feels about it. But again, I want to know you guys' thoughts down below. It's your girl, Dominique, and I'm going to catch you guys on the next video later. Go ahead and watch this.
I happen to see him. I do enjoy women. I enjoy the way they feel, the way they smell, the way they make love, and all of that. But sometimes I get just a really intense craving to be around a guy, and not just be around a guy, but to feel him, to hold him, to have him on top of me, to have me on top of him. And it's not just, and it pretty much is just sexual. It's not like I'm seeking a romantic romance with this person. And so that's what makes finding married men so much easier, because they're not looking for relationship at all. They have a relationship with their wives, just like I have a relationship with my wife. And so I do have 2 or 3 guys that I do see on a regular basis. And we have a strict, no identification policy. If I see him at the mall or if I'm out with my wife in a restaurant and I happen to see him, it's as if I don't even see him. It's as if we don't even know each other. And we've gotten...
I was going to say, how often is regularly? Like, how often do you see them?
Before the pandemic, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and maybe multiple guys. And most of the time, we played safe. But once I started having like a regular pool of guys, I didn't really worry about playing safe so much, and neither did they. We were tested regularly, and that always played out just fine. So I really admit I've been really lucky to have that many years and not have any kinds of issues like that. Of course, if I did, that would be a dead giveaway.
Wow. Right. So you identify as straight. You, I guess, always knew that you wanted to marry a woman, but when you married your wife, were you still sleeping with men, or was there a period when you first got married that you hadn't been with any men? There was a period that when we first got married from, I say for about 5 or 6 years, maybe 7 years, when we were starting a family, that I did sleep with men. Was your intention to just stay married, stay faithful, and never see other men, or did you always think that it might pop up again in your life? Well, I didn't really think of it that way. I just thought, I enjoy my wife. We're building a family. We're having kids. The feelings, the emotions, the attractions that I'm having, I will just deal with them and lay them aside. And so for 7 years, I did. But then we moved out of the area where we were to a whole nother town. And that's when I discovered the Craigslist ads. And from that day on, I've always had jobs that gave me the freedom to work at home or to work remotely or to work out of town. And so it was very easy to have the house to myself, maybe 3 or 4 days a week, maybe 5 days a week. And if I knew I was going to have it 5 days a week, and if I was really feeling needy, I could see 4 or 5 guys. I do enjoy women. I enjoy the way they feel, the way they smell, the way they make love, and how.
For that video, right? And it won't let me stitch it, but I have to speak on that because if you go on Grindr, if you're a gay man and go on Grindr, if you're a straight woman, go on Grindr, download Grindr, and see how many married men there are. See how many married men there are. I almost want to tell straight women to go on Grindr and just make a fake account and just see how many straight married men there are. Like, it's just so selfish. I feel like it's so selfish that you're gonna get with a relationship with a woman in this day and age and just pretend and just lie to her and then be hooking up with many other men at the same time. And that guy admitted that he's probably hooking up more men multiple times than his own wife. And it's just so disgusting. And it's awful how it's normalized in the gay community, right? I admitted that he's probably hooking up more men multiple times than his own wife. And it's just so disgusting and awful, and it's awful how it's normalized in the gay community, right? Because straight people don't really know that this goes on. And it's also normal. I hate that he identifies as straight, because let's be honest, you're not straight, you're bisexual. You're bisexual, and if you were just honest about that, and if you could just be bisexual and let your wife know that before you got married, I'm pretty sure you could have worked something out. But you didn't, and now, because it's inevitable. It's literally inevitable. Like, y'all, it's inevitable that she's gonna find out. It's inevitable, 100%. Every single straight guy that's on Grindr, that's married and has kids, your wife's gonna find out. Your wife already knows. Women are the smartest creature on earth. If they don't know now, they're gonna know, and they might already know, and they might just be tallying it up, waiting to have that conversation, because they are gonna find out. And when they do, you're gonna lose everything. So it just makes no sense to not come into the relationship being open and honest and being like, hey, I'm attracted to this. Just being honest, like, because it's 2024. Bisexuality exists, and it's clear to me that these men are bisexual. It's clear. Just be bisexual. It gets. What is so awful about that? Like, I don't. So